Hey guys, this is the Therapist Task Guide for Operation Aquarius Part 2. For this task, you have to eliminate 15 scavs on customs. So here's a map of customs, and as you guys can see, I have circled a bunch of the areas on the map to try and help identify most of the better scav spawns or areas where they do tend to roam. And it is definitely possible to get 10 plus scav kills in a single raid for this map, especially if you know where to go. I did also place a crosshair on the map to try and help to identify where the potential scav sniper spawns are located for you guys. And you guys will also notice I did not circle the dorms area or the fortress areas on this map, and this is because if you're looking to kill scavs as fast as possible for a task, these two areas are not going to be worth the risk of running into PMCs for the minimal amount of scav potential. So for this route, I do have it mapped out as though you do get the spawn in the bottom left hand corner by the storage area and then the big red building. This is widely viewed as one of the worst spots that you can potentially get for customs. However, if your goal is to come here for scavs, this one can actually work in your favor, since you will be able to work from one side of the map to the other without having to backtrack, and then you can really maximize your scav eliminations for the raid. And when you do spawn here, then typically it will give you enough time for the big red scavs to spawn in if they are going to during this raid. So by starting over here at the big red building, there's typically 1 to 3 scavs here that can spawn within this area. Typically they will be outside of the big red building anywhere in the yard, but I have had them go inside the building and run anywhere around on the ground floor. After I clear the big red building, then I will typically move across the land bridge towards the Ruaf roadblock, and this area will be one of the best and most consistent areas for scavs to spawn for you. And typically it does have between 2 and 5 scavs that can have multiple different spawn waves throughout the raid. So if you do run through here and wipe the whole area at the beginning of the raid, if you do double back for whatever reason later on, then there could be another potential wave and you can eliminate them again. After I clear Ruaf, then I tend to avoid Krakow since I am going to be bypassing Fortress and instead head towards the mini Skelly POI. But before I cross into there, I do tend to have a look towards the ice cream building, since at ice cream you can usually have between 1 and 2 scavs just out in the open at the T-junction of the road. So after clearing the ice cream building, then typically I will head into the mini Skelly area where you can have between 2 and 5 different scavs, all the way from the mini Skelly building all the way out to the tankers and the blue fence. And you can have them anywhere in between this area. They're just kind of scattered around usually. And after clearing the mini Skelly area, then we will continue going straight all the way down towards the factory shack scav extract, as well as the big Skelly building. And as you make your way to this area, then make sure to check for the sniper scav that's up on top of the huge tower in the middle of the map, and then you can potentially get a free kill on him, but usually he is taken out relatively early into the raid. However, if he's not, then it is a good idea to take him out while you are in the mini Skelly area, just so that he doesn't aggro on you. So once you get to big Skelly, then you can look across the main road towards the bus station, and from this area you typically will have 1 to 3 different scavs that spawn out at the bus station, but those scavs in particular can be quite annoying, especially since they can tend to see through bushes, as most scavs can, but these ones here, they tend to be in an area where you will have quite limited eyesights, and any of the sight lines that you can use to fight them from the factory shacks area will leave you pretty exposed. So sometimes it is better to bypass this area, especially when you're basically in between 2 major PMC hotspots, which is going to be dorms and the fortress. Now once you get to the big Skelly building and are ready to go past it, then you do have a choice on whether you want to go the old gas station way and maybe attempt to reset if you have that extract, and then you can see if you have the green smoke, which means that it will be open, or maybe you just prefer going that route in general to attempt to get the 1 to 4 scavs that can spawn there at the old gas station. Or if the extract is not open, then you can continue out through in between the warehouses and then eliminate any of the scavs that you come across in that area, since there can be 1 to 4 there, plus also a couple of sniper scavs up on top of the depot building roof. And then you can either use your factory emergency exit key to open up the shortcut doors, or you can do one of the many jump overs that will bring you to new gas, or you can always just bypass old gas as well as the warehouse area and just continue straight from Big Skelly right to the new gas area. And at the new gas, then you will usually have between 1 and 4 scavs that are going to be in and around that area, but sometimes you also have the opportunity to get Rashala and his guards, and if they have spawned there, if you are successful in eliminating either him or any of his guards, then they will count as a scav towards your task. So after clearing new gas, then we will make our way towards military checkpoint, and then you can have scavs just below the sniper ridge on the grass hills in between new gas and the military checkpoint, so be aware of that. And once you get near the military checkpoint building, then you also have between 2 and 4 scavs usually around the building on the ground, as well as a sniper scav spawn on the 2nd story of the building. Usually once I clear military, then I will head up towards the USEC or the green screen building, but I typically will check the choke point area next to the depot first, just because you can have scavs patrolling that crossover area sometimes, and I do not want to be shot in the back. And then once we move over towards the USEC building, then there can be between 1 and 4 scavs all around or inside of the building. I tend to find them out back or just inside the back door in the corner of the stairwell. And once this area is cleared, then we are right next to our ZB11 extracts, so then I make my way there and reset for another raid typically. Obviously this route can be modified for you and where you prefer to fight your scavs on customs as well as for your spawns. You won't always end up getting the big red corner spawn, so it can obviously be flipped for you, or you can always just focus on certain hotspots such as the military checkpoint to new gas area as well as the mini skelly and Ruaf roadblock, since these are the areas that I always tend to find several scavs at most every raid. And if you are going to focus on any area on the map, then those are the 3 that I would tend to focus on. I also emphasized earlier avoiding dorms and stronghold, but if PvP is what you enjoy and you're just passively doing these scav elimination tasks, then definitely alter the route and then have some fun by going to these areas. So hopefully you guys found this guide useful and it did help you to complete your task. I know it is a little on the longer side compared to normal, but I did want to be as thorough as possible for some of the newer players, since this is such a challenging and unforgiving game at the best of times. So if you guys made it to the end, then I definitely appreciate you and I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day. So what you're seeing on the screen right now is just a couple of my different social links in case you guys wanted to connect more easily. I am primarily streaming on Twitch now multiple nights a week. So if you do want to connect with me or my community, that would probably be the easiest way to do so. And if you do come over to the Twitch and you want to join the Discord community, then just type !Discord or cord in the chat in order to get an invite link. And if you don't use Twitch, then I do have a link in the picture as well as a link below in the description. And we are growing and currently have an active and welcoming community with people of all experience and skill levels. So there will always be someone who could help to answer any questions that you may have. As always, thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching the video, and I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day.